Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mini Break. I'm Gary Preston with my co-host Cindy Beal, and we have a very special guest with us today. A native from Bolivia, he's certified professional in all four educational pathways of PTR, including adult development and performance. His professional regional director in New York recently took on the role as tennis director at McCarran Tennis Center. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tito Perez.
Hello, and welcome everybody to Mini Break. Tito, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Sidney. Thank you, Gary. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It's good to have you here. I was excited about this because Gary told me that you wanted to do this, and I had not thought about, reaching out to other tennis directors or anybody. But since Gary was over in Karen, I was just like, well, why not? We might as well. So
it's a pleasure, and I appreciate the invitation. I hope we have fun today.
Oh, I'm sure we will. So what we're doing is we are actually going to be going live from Facebook as well as YouTube today. So just so you know that if anyone has any questions or any concerns, what we'll do is they will post their questions on Facebook and they will come up in our StreamYard line here. So that way, if they're just saying hi or if they just want to ask a question, we'll be able to put those questions on the screen for you. So that way you'll be able to answer and give your opinion on what's going on in tennis today. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. One of the first things that we like to do is we want to try to find out more about you. So we have this little thing that we call 2 truths and a lie. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and ask these questions now, but don't give your answer. And we will actually go back at the end of the show and ask it again. So that way we can give our audience a chance to go ahead and answer some of those questions as well. So the first one is that you have been working in the tennis industry for 26 years, that your 3 tennis idols are Roger Federer, Pete Sampras, and Yvonne Lendl, and that you were a whopping 12 years old when you first started playing tennis. So again, we're going to give our audience a chance to go ahead and look those over again, that you've been working in the industry for 26 years. Your 3 idols are Federer, Sampras, and Lendl, and that you started playing tennis when you were 12 years old. So Gary, let's go ahead and get right into this.
Okay, so my first question for you was, when, this is a little generic, but when did you realize you wanted to be a coach? Because we know this profession can be very tough, very grueling. When did that moment hit you? This is the career path I wanted to go.
I want to be a tennis coach when I was 17 years old. That was the time to decide to, this is who I want to be. I want to be a tennis coach. You want a story about it or a short answer? I don't know.
Sure. No. Give us a story.
Okay. Look, I was in Bolivia working in a club. It's in a country club. It's one of the country clubs there. The name is Club de Tenis Cochabamba Tennis Club. That's where I grew up. That's where I played tennis all my life. I never changed club. That was all the time I was playing. And at that age, the coaches, they decided to go to Argentina to take tennis training. And basically everybody was leaving. And the board from the club, they called us with the director of tennis, and they asked me and my teammate on the same age, who was 17, if we can help out on the academy and run the program for a week. Was 2 coaches left there, and we need to help them, obviously, to run it. For me, it was the best week ever of my life. A couple of my teammates hate it because, they cannot have the control. But for some reason, I really enjoy it, and I started helping with them. After that, when any of the coaches need to go out for a weekend or they need to take a break, they ask me to cover. And I was happy to do it. I remember at that time, when somebody asked me to cover, they can't pay me because I was underage to work there. And they pay me with 2 liters of Coke. That was how much I was getting paid. But I love it. And then I want things to consider.
Did you say Coke?
Coke. Regular Coke, a liter Coke. And I use it.
Coca-Cola. Okay.
Coca-Cola, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, my
But
breaking
another
English.
Said Bolivia and you said Coke. I was like, wait, whoa,
Yeah,
what?
like this one, you see, but it's not. This is Pepsi.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a different business.
Go ahead.
Anyway, that was how I was starting. I was 17. One thing take to the other. When I was 18, I finished high school, and I tried to work on the club I grow, and I worked there for 3 months, not like a coach because they don't have an open position. They hired me like a tournament assistant tournament director, something like that. I was only in charge to run all the tennis events. And the idea for them was to keep me there for a couple months until they have a position for me like a tennis coach. They don't want to lose me because another club offered me a job like a tennis coach. But I was trying to be loyal. That's what I'm trying to do every day of my life. And I say no, I stay on the club. I will grow, and I work like a tournament director or something like that. But after 2 months, I have a big fight with one of the board members, and after they fired me. And I finished in open my academy, my own academy, and I was 19. I opened my first tennis academy, and I was 19 in Bolivia. And a small short story about how I get involved on this. But yes, that's who I want to be all my life. When I graduated from high school, my dad asked me what engineer I want to be. And I said, I don't want to be an engineer. I want to be a tennis coach. And here I am. Tennis, I cannot give you tell you how many years after because one of the questions, but I love this,
Nice. That's great. I mean, it was... I'm sorry, I'm still on the Coke thing right now.
Next I need to put Pepsi, my easiest, yeah.
I was not expecting that to come up. It just took me out for a second.
I mean, in some cases, I'm sure it does happen, but no, I'm kidding. No, I honestly, Tito, I really admire the transparency you just showed, talking about the fact you had a disagreement, something didn't work out, and you created something of your own. I think that's something that we lose sight of, that failure can also be a blessing. And even though the circumstances weren't great, you turned something into it. So during that time, what was going through your head? Like when that happened, when you were like, let go, when did this come about, you wanting to start your own club or your own academy?
It was, they fired me. And then basically it was almost a year, maybe almost a year and a half looking for a job. And was going academy behind academy, trying to find a job, and they don't have any open positions. On that time, I go to college anyway. I study business. And but in the meantime, I need to make some money. That means I was selling books, I was working for a bookstore. And they give you, have a suit, and I was, ringing the bell, say, hello, how you doing? My name is Tito Perez, and I want to offer you these books, I was making $20 each time I sell an encyclopedia. That's the name in English, encyclopedia?
Encyclopedia, yes.
Encyclopedia. I make $20 every time I sell the 3-4 books there. I was doing very good sales there.
How many books did you carry in each arm?
I always carry only the sample.
Okay.
I to you, and then I make the order. You give me your money, and then next week I deliver it to your door. But it was always some payments. I mean, the first payment was $20. I mean, that money was always for me. That was the deal I have the bookstore, and the rest wasn't my problem to collect the money after that. My job was finishing when I give you the books, and then I was selling shirts. I was, I don't know how they sing in English too. You make color shirts. You put different colors. Yeah.
Like,
I was doing that once. That's interesting because I have a friend. Her name is she's American, and I meet her and doing that thing. She was doing these things very artisanal, not selling too much. And then I convinced her to start selling these shirts to the kids on high school, to the prom. I mean, they can have the same shirt, everybody, not the same shirt exactly because you never make the same. And then I remember we sell to 3 groups of high schools who was going to graduation. And we need to make for each school, we need to make around 90 by hand. I remember we have having blisters because you need to color each one and everything. Holly Hansel, that was her name. Holly Hansel. She goes to Bolivia. She moved to Bolivia for exchange, and she finished staying there. She married there, have a child and everything. And that was what happened on the meantime. And a year after a year and a half, somebody come and offer me to join that person on a club. And then the magic started, and go. I was never looking to have my own academy. never looking at my own academy. And the first time I have a boss was that 2.5 months I was working on that place. And then when I moved to America 12 years ago and I started working on Long Island, that was my second boss. And now I'm moving to to my current tennis center. But normally I like to run my own thing.
Nice. So how was the transition going or coming from Bolivia to come to the United States to work? What were some of the differences and some of the challenges that you faced?
And transition, it's a lot of things. You can see transition really, Sydney, but I don't see difference on the job in terms of the quantity of energy you need to put. A lot of people say, "Oh, you need to come here and work." I work a lot every day. That means it was not a transition for me in that terms. Most transition was about the language, because when I came over here, I arrived, like I'm pretty sure you can find tons of stories about the immigrants. I arrived to La Guardia with $20 on my pocket and not speaking English. I mean, I learned to speak English here. And that thing was the biggest challenge. After that, is only to keep working and fighting for your dreams. I think I was in the right place on the right time. There's people to work before they give you the chance to develop something and let me do what I wanted. I don't think I have too much challenge on that term. People say, "Oh, I was suffering on that." If I need to leave everything again, I do it exactly the same, Sydney. I don't see any difference. For me, if people ask, America is the best country I see in my life. Open the opportunities. You need to work hard like any place, and you keep pushing forward and pushing forward. Don't get lazy. Sometimes it's too comfortable, I think, here.
Mm-hmm.
My personal opinion, it's too comfortable. That means, and then you get on that rhythm until you have enough for what you're doing,
right?
And that's, it's fine. It's your comfort zone, but it was not really a complicated thing, because after 2 months my family come over. Was a little, I miss the food so bad. That's only thing to tell me. I miss the food so bad from Bolivia, but then my wife come over here. My kid, he was 18 months. And then we have 2 more girls here. We have 3 kids, family. We live on nice house on Long Island. We bought a house. I was not looking for a job. My Karen find me, and here I am again on the same adventure one more time on my life. I mean, I don't see really Sydney. Somebody come and say, "What's that?" For sure, for a lot of people, I'm sure I have a friends to have a impression, not terrible stories, but very impressive stories about how they come over here. It's not the case, Sydney. I need to be honest with you. Was not easy to be here in terms of the work, but it was useful for me. I'm not a person to work on 90%. I like to work in 120% every single day. I like to live on the limit. I like to have a high intensity on my life. That means I think it was great change. I think the last 12 years of my life and the best days of my life right now.
And I mean, it's incredible that, whenever I do hear people's stories about them coming from a different country to come here to, find that dream and to, work here. The one thing that I've always heard is that it's a lot of work, and it's something that they don't stop doing. It's, because most people, when, like you said, they get comfortable and they stop or they slow down, and, because they've gotten to a point now where they don't feel they have to really worry too much about anything. But the majority of people that I've met, and, even some of my American friends, because you're right, some Americans can get extremely lazy and comfortable in everything that they do. But at the same time, you still have those that are go-getters, and that they want to make sure that they put their best foot forward while they're out there. And I always applaud that for people. So now you talked about your wife coming over and bringing your 18-month-old child with her when she came over. How was that for her coming over here?
That's the other thing I was going to mention. I think the difference too was, first, I have the chance to bring my family here. I mean, a lot of my friends, they come to this country. Sometimes you need to keep your family at the other side of the world, and that really, I'm sure will be hard. That means that helped me a lot. The first thing, to my wife was here and with my son. And the second was very important. My wife always support me. That means when first it was interesting. I was not moving to come to America. I was a person who was a hard believer I can be a successful person on my own country, Bolivia. And she said, Tito, she was pushing me, say, let's go to America. Let's try to make it happen there. And she pushed me to that. I said, okay, let's try it. And when we come over here, she's always supporting me. think about it, Sydney. I switched from job after 12 years. I was fine on the other job. I was on my comfort zone. You know what I mean? And when I do make this change, I asked her, obviously, what you think about it. My wife's name is Pilar. I said, Pilar, what do you think about it? And she said to me, let's try it. I mean, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, and it's good to have the support.
Always. It's part of that family. I believe on family environment. I believe in that. I'm a big dreamer. That's what I sell. That's why in the academy on Bolivia was. That's the same to us on Long Island. I was running that family environment. And that's the same I'm trying to looking forward to right now, McCarran on Brooklyn. The family environment. I go with my family everywhere, my wife and my kids. I believe on that. I mean, I think she was the support for me to keep going and keep dreaming and keep making things happen. You know?
And that's awesome because a lot of people don't have that support. And I think especially now in the environment and the situations that we're in right now, I think it's even more important to have the support of your family and your friends to help you see through the dreams that you want for your family, because it not only helps them, it helps everyone else. One of our guests, Chip Hines, says, "Thank you for all you do, Tito." So I don't know if Chip has ever met you or if you've ever met Chip.
No, I don't believe so. Chip is from Pittsburgh, correct?
I think so, but Chip is one of our guys. He's with the GLTA, the Gay Lesbian Tennis Alliance, and I've known Chip for years now, and he has always been a great support and a great support system for all the players that come to any of the tournaments that we do. So I definitely would want to meet him when he comes here, because he does come here for the Liberty Open whenever we have that. But since we're not having that this year,
he plays tennis.
He plays tennis, and
that's great.
He's wonderful, and he helps out with a lot of the tournaments. You know, whenever we go, and he's
he's related with the USTA. I think, yeah, he does something.
I'm sorry.
His name sounds familiar to me.
You've probably heard it a lot. If you haven't met him, you've heard his name a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because everybody knows him.
I'm sure I meet him. Thank you for the words. You know, it's. I think I need to say thank you to tennis, but it's tennis given to me, really. You know.
I think that's one of the things for all of us. Tennis has given us so much that, you know, in times when, you know, we really need an outlet. Like I know for me personally, when I'm stressed, I will literally go get on a court just so that I can hit, because I'd rather hit tennis balls than people. So I make sure that I, you know, try to get out to the courts as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So now with McCarran, because I've been out there a few times, and there was a time when I would not come out there because everybody's like, oh, it's in Brooklyn and it's so far away. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go out that, you know, all the way out there. But then I realized for where I live now, because I live in Queens, it literally takes me about 20 minutes to get over there by train, which is not too bad at all. Do you find that you have a lot of people that are coming directly from Brooklyn, or is it pretty much all over the New York area?
Don't forget that the density we have around the club is big. That means, I'm assuming, please, because don't forget, I'm not working that long yet. But I'm assuming, because I have experience in this business, I'm assuming I don't think the most part of our client is going to come around 5 miles around. That's my personal guess. Doesn't mean you are not going to have any problem. Think about it. If you take the sub, we can be at McCarran in 10 minutes from New York City, basically. And you are 10 minutes from everywhere. Everything is going to depend what you're looking for. And if you are not finding something you're looking, hopefully you can find in a McCarran, and you might take the chance to take the trip for 10, 15 minutes, you know?
Yeah. And living in New York, whenever you're looking to go play tennis, it's no matter where you live, it's going to be a trip to get out to where you're going.
Let's put it this way, Sydney. That's what we're looking. I say what we're looking because I'm assuming all the staff is engaged on this too now. We're looking is to develop a unique program, and it's not only about how good we can be in a tennis lesson, okay? Because you can find good tennis lessons anywhere. You can find good tennis players anywhere. And it's outside the tennis school where we're looking. Of course, we are looking to have a high quality tennis lessons, competition, JTT, all the things are part of the equation. But besides that, we want to develop a very good tennis environment outside, events, programs, activities for the members. I think that's going to give an engage with the club. That's unique, because you need to put time. The people, the coaches, the workers need to put extra time because it's not only come, teach, and go home. That's what we, and that's the difference. I know people live on the time. People is your lesson starting in the morning. 10:01, you're jumping into the court, and people arrive 2 minutes before, leaving 1 minute after. That means we want the people to stay a little bit and enjoy a couple minutes. Slow down, slow down.
Right, because that's one of the things that a lot of the players that we deal with talk about is that they'll go to NTC or to Roosevelt Island or some of the other clubs, not to call them out too much, but that they'll go to some of these clubs and they pay for their lessons, but the coaches come on and they feel like they're a little distant, that there's not anything there. So you don't really get a chance to talk to them that much or to get any type of camaraderie with them. And I know, with Gary and with Anna that, meeting them for the first time, it was a different experience for a lot of us because Anna, like I said, when I first met her, she was very much into making sure that everybody was comfortable and that, if you weren't, she would try to find out. She'd get everybody started on what she needed to get them started on, but, she would definitely come up and find out what was going on with you if you weren't comfortable, what she needed to do to help you. And the same with Gary, he would come in and stop smiling. I'm not making you sound good, Gary. I'm just telling you.
No, I know that, but I was waiting to hear something. I was waiting to hear the story about like how we were correcting your serve one time, and I was straightforward. See, I like making people uncomfortable to get to a comfortable position to where they're at. But you will find comfort. You will find comfort in what I'm doing.
And Tito, honestly, when I first met Anna, I met her at Roosevelt Island, and I was doing a drill and play class with her. And one of the things that I'm always real happy about my serve. I've always thought, I have a good serve, it's decent, I can play, I'm good. And I remember, Anna had us all at the line getting ready to serve, and she comes up directly behind me and she's like, why are you doing this? What do you call this? What is this that you're doing? And I was like, I'm serving. And she's like, no, that's not what you're doing. Okay. She's like, you're standing there with your racket in your hand, but you're not serving. So
that's a nice compliment. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but, after working with her and working with Gary, they both taught me a couple of different things that helped my serve tremendously because I patterned my serve after, the professionals that I've seen play. And with the both of them, they came up and, just tweaked a few things. And after they did that, it helped my serve tremendously. And now it's, about me moving my feet, which, that's a story for a different time. So.
Yeah, I have the same issue, believe me.
I'm sure you can contest to this as far as like technique is very much, it's important. However, though, I feel regardless of, your height, like your development as a player, you still need to have some uniqueness to your game. I feel a lot of people, especially now playing wise, can be very robotic or you're seeing the same thing over and over again and there's no originality. So the biggest thing with Sydney, there's no way of explaining it. It's his game, just like how he owns his game and that's it. He pulls inspiration from others. I wish more would do that instead of having people, oh, I want to hit like Serena or, oh, I want to hit like Sharapova. It's like, well, not going to happen. Or I'm going to hit in the back end feather. No, not going to happen.
You just say something. Depends who is in front of you, who is your lesson, some people is going there and they learn to play tennis by themselves. Mm-hmm. And they play many years and they come over because they want to get better. But the bad habits are already there. That means when it's an adult, it's going to be really difficult to make a change on the technique. That means it's difficult to change, but what we need to do is try to help them to be more efficient with what they have. How you can use the tools you have, even if the tools maybe not be the right tool. We want to make you be more efficient. I mean, when an adult come over with something to may not be the right thing to do it, but it's working for him, then help him to be more efficient. They take better tactical decisions. How you can win more points with that situation, And happen on juniors. So you see, I don't think happened that much in New York because we live we are in New York. It's north, cold, and we have a month basically inside. But the park player, that concept with park player, the most part of the country have a lot of park players. Yeah, a lot of people to grow and learn play tennis on the park. That means our kids there who are athletes technically might not be the best ones, but they are that good in any sport. They are going to complicate it to any player. I have that experience maybe 2 years ago. We go to play with my son a tournament, and my son is 14. He's doing very good, and we play with one kid. Believe me, the technique was upside down, but that kid was running and put all the balls on play. Fine, I need to mention to you, he was really lucky to win. My son beat him in the third set. But you click and see sometimes not. Maybe this kid with a technical issues is not going to win a national tournament. He's not going to play Davis Cup, but he's going to play it because he's an athlete. I mean, you need to work with who you are in front.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to see that that you have coaches that will do that. They're not afraid to tell these kids, especially in the juniors, what they're doing wrong. Because I think the coaches that go out there and just say, that's great, swing a little harder, but don't really give that much instruction. I think they're harming the kid more than they're helping. And even with the adults, they're harming them more than they're helping, because I've had coaches that have literally made me change my racket because, they said, just because this is the hottest racket on the market doesn't mean it's for you. So, they helped me change my racket and helped me change my stance, the whole thing. And I think that comes up to right now with, with everything that's going on with COVID-19 and, how things are happening with the, tennis clubs. What is MTC doing with reopening their clubs this summer term? What are they doing to, get people back in and, help them get acclimated to playing in a new way?
The first we need to wait to see when we're going to put the bubble down. Hopefully it's going to happen next week. If that happens, obviously we are going to, first you need to follow the guidelines that are available from the USTA for anybody. Keep the social distance, wash your hands, hand sanitizers everywhere. The coaches are going to be always facing a face mask when they are teaching. I think for right now, we're going to try to do private lessons, semi-private lessons. That means if you and me, we want to take lessons with Gary, it's only a supposition, Gary. Don't get excited, okay? Or maybe a small family groups, of same family in the same lesson, in the same course at the beginning, until obviously the governor give us the chance to open summer camps or summer programs. And the thing here is going to be everything about guidelines. Outdoor is going to be easiest compared with indoor. Hopefully, the numbers of people getting sick are not going to grow up again on September, because if that happens, we might have, it's a chance they are going to shut down everything again, and the businesses are going to get hurt again. It will be really bad for us in terms of money and working with the community if we cannot open on September, But let's see what happens. We have everything ready. The email is ready. We're waiting for the day they give us the okay to run everything back to not normal, but the new normal we have. We have our guidelines. We're putting everything they need to the people to be safe. Some people sure are ready. Believe me, I have every day emails, phone calls, people asking, are you open? Are you open? Or private lessons, group lessons. I mean, some people are ready to go. And some people are not going to show up.
Most definitely. I think they're raring to go. And like Chip just asked, what's your opinion on, doubles being held at USTA events right now?
Right. It is too, but it is what it is. What we can do.
Okay, there's no punches there. Could you elaborate a little bit? I agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're setting yourself up. I mean, there's talk of there being another, incline of COVID-19 again after, but doubles, as much as it is fun and is convenient, singles is probably the safest way to go, or at least the semi-private, if that.
The message is not only about the coaches or the clubs. I think the coaches and the clubs are doing the best we can to give the safety, but it's about the people who are going to join the clubs and going to play tennis. Don't take this, take it seriously. Do your part. That means I go to play tennis with my son today here in Long Island. We go outside one of the public courts, and some people are coming, they're playing doubles, and they are coming and shaking, giving high fives. I start watching them and say what you guys are doing. I don't say anything. I was thinking about it, but maybe it's not worried. They don't feel worried, but I feel worried. Mm-hmm. I feel worried. I think it's not respectful to do that. That means I know you have freedom, but right now, come on, be a little bit more respectful of the people around you, not only on your court.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I think the thing that people have forgotten is that we are still in a pandemic.
Yes.
It's not over. I think that a lot of people just, as soon as the weather started getting better, they started thinking, oh, everything's better outside. We can go outside and play now and just do what we want to do. But not realizing that they still have to take precautions because they don't know what's going on in other places. So, and yes, Chip, even though singles suck, because I'm not a big singles player, but
I mean, I love singles, so I can't complain. But yeah, I doubles depends. I like being independent.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this as, this is the time for me to actually get out on the court and do some things to help my singles game, because I'm one of those that I love playing doubles. I never really have to think about it. I'm just, there. But as far as singles is concerned, I'm always too much in my head, and I haven't had the time to literally get on a court and just focus on being a singles player.
And let's be honest, when you're playing singles, you realize how big is the court.
Yeah.
You need to run.
You're like everywhere.
Over a lot,
And it's a lot. It's a lot.
In all fairness, and I'll speak about Sydney for a little bit. Amazing at being very detail oriented. He's on, like, literally he never misses a beat. However, though, I think when it comes to the actual singles part, there's so much going on that everything here is kind of forgotten. And most of the time when Sydney's at these tennis events, whether it's USTA, the GLTA, and by the way, he's done many professional pictures for Tennis Magazine as well. So he's constantly looking at everything else instead of just focusing on what he needs to do from a singles perspective. So literally, he has said, I go to hit, and he looks and glances, and did I take a shot of that guy just to make sure it was covered? And everyone has a picture. So as far as being selfish, that's not one of Sydney's biggest, tendencies. So yeah, that's a compliment. Are you happy?
Oh, very.
You finally give him a compliment, Gary. That's good.
Yes, I will not make Gary disappear from the screen now. So it's great that, to hear, a director of a tennis, facility say that, doubles right now, not the best thing. Singles is barely the best thing, but
right now it is the best thing you can do. Might not be the you like to do it. I mean, you don't need to play a match. Play cross court down the middle. Play some cross court points. It's now you're expecting, but it's better than nothing right now. And if we don't want to be shutting down again, the only you need to do keep following the directions and the guidelines. And be patient. Right. That's all you need to do.
Well, and speaking of being patient and everything, we have a lot of the one of the biggest tennis organizations or leagues that we have here besides USTA is with Metropolitan Tennis Group, which, they've been coming out to MTC for quite a while now. And, how difficult is it, or do a lot of other leagues besides USTA, or are there other leagues besides USTA that come out to play at MTC? And how do they reach out to you guys? Is it usually through USTA, or do they just call and see what you guys have going on there?
No, we have a lot of people to already reach us before they have a relation with us. I mean, we go one year behind year. We keep the same relation. And other people come and only rent the course and run his own thing too. Mm-hmm. And during the USTA right now, we don't think we have any tournament yet for juniors. And an adults, people, we have more part of training, basically. We are not really running any type of leagues or any type of USTA teams yet.
Would you say, though, that a majority of our stuff is like after school program, high performance? I would also say St. Francis, their men's and women's tennis teams practice and also have their matches in McCarran, correct?
I need to be honest with you. I never see a place that busy in my life.
It's the truth.
I need to be honest with you.
Even if I'm due on court at 6 a.m., there are people there at 5:30, rare and ready to go.
And it's 11 p.m. and from the 7 courts, at least 5 are taken, at least. That means I think we have a very unique place. It's nice. It is nice. Always can be better. Always, any place, any business can be better. It's only put organize it and give more opportunities and organize better the products. I think the juniors, a lot of juniors there. I think that what I really like it from McCarran are the coaches. I love everybody. I never see that before too. Everybody's a good player. I mean, as I'm talking are 5.0s. Everybody's a 5.0 there. I mean, that's going to make a big difference too, because basically that person can play with anybody, and it's not normal either. I like it. I like it.
I think also from a style standpoint, I think all of us are extremely unique. Like Anna hits a beautiful ball, doesn't move her feet. She hits a beautiful ball. Sorry to throw you under the bus, Anna. And then you have like Sabrina, Sophia, that, great big powerful games from, Florida. And then Ishmael is incredibly athletic, and same with Rob. So it's exciting to also the kids to see how we can play and how, what you can achieve, X, Y, and Z down the road. I think part of that with coaching, you inspire them that way as well. Now, Tito, I had a question for you. What
Sure.
has been the most exciting accomplishment you've had so far within your coaching career? If you could pick one.
That's an interesting question, Sometimes people doesn't need to say something to you. It's more about what you can feel about the people, But when I was open, when I started working in Bolivia with my own academy, we were running a preschool program. We have 14 preschool schools coming to the club. That's a long story too. We have buses. We pick the kids from the preschool coming. We teach them. We have 20 kids running like crazy all the season. Some of the teachers from there helping us. We were basically babysitting them, but trying to teach them. Try to teach a 2 years old. Try to walk over, go under, throw a ball, kick a ball, catch a ball, and at the end of the season we have a small end of the season party for all the parents, and you have a huge party. All the parents come over very excited. You 2 or 3 years old is going to play tennis. We make them hit, make lines, go over something, go under something, hit the ball or kick the ball or throw the ball, and right after that, everybody go. It's music, it's some food. We finish, and I need to walk around, always say hello, thank you for coming, and you always you are looking forward to that people coming back and keep playing tennis on a regular basis. And one of the parents come over and say, "Oh, my daughter is so excited," and the girl come over and hug me, and she said to me, "You are the best tennis coach ever." And she hugged me so hard, it made me feel so good. And I don't think that girl anyway played tennis after. I don't remember her after coming back. But and I'm the only tennis coach she meet before. She doesn't meet anyone else. But that hack she gave me was a true hack. Was the kids are not malicious. It's true love, and that really engaged me with this sport too. That means I don't remember somebody after giving me a hug like that, like one of my childs. Or if I was feeling that one, I feel the same now with my own child, so they come and hug me. But I think that was the best compliment without words to somebody told me. That hug I have. I hope that gave me an answer, Gary. I don't know who was answering.
It's interesting, and this is no disrespect to anyone that came before you at MTC. When you came there, it was kind of like, so if there was this energy and there was this passion I saw, I thought the biggest thing that stood out to me was the fact you had no problem walking up to anyone. Hi, my name's Tito, I'm the new director, and you weren't hiding like how a lot of coaches are, and they're kind of like away from the clientele and not really engaging. And you see a lot of that, as Sydney said, at like Roosevelt and like different places. No offense, because I've worked there before, so I get it. But it was very refreshing, and I hope that pathway continues, especially with the direction we're going at McCarran. Now, have you ever had the chance to work with any players on the ATP or WTA?
That's very interesting too, Gary. Good question. No, I never have the chance to work. Unfortunately, listen, Gary. In this business, you need to find the way to make things happen. Okay. And you need to find a way to keep moving up, not one step at a time, maybe moving 3 or 4 steps at a time. That means, I was not the best player in my country. I'm considering myself a good player. I play very good tennis. I'm a 5.0 player. That means, but I never played Division 1 college. I never played I played some ATP tournaments in my country when I was 18, 19. There was before the future, there was the satellites. You remember satellites? I never went around on that. Believe me, I was crash all the time. Okay, that was the best I do. But when I decided to be a tennis coach, I need to pick something. And I decided to be a businessman on the tennis industry. Because everybody, like a tennis coach, you want to have, especially in South America, you want to be working with a high performance players, taken to Davis Cup, taken to Division One players. I teach kids to want to come to D1 players, but I was developing that type of thing. And then when I come to me, and then on this give me the chance to meet people and coaches today was a former ATP players, or they are working right now with ATP players, and give that experience to the people who was working with me. With that mean I was basically not using, but I was joining a little bit the experience they have and give me the chance to step up on the tennis industry. Like you see, I work a lot with Leo Alonso. Leo Alonso is the coach and manager for Leonardo Mayer. Leonardo Mayer was the former 25 on the world on ATP. Very good friend of me. He was on the Davis Cup team to won the Davis Cup a couple years ago. That's one that the thing give me the chance to meet him. Another very good friends of me are Emilio Sanchez Vicario and his sister Arancha Sanchez Vicario. And that guy's Arancha was many times ATP. Grand Slam champion, #1 on the world. And Emilio was 7 on the world and #1 award on doubles. That means they give me the chance, and I use them to help me to keep growing on this. That's what it is on tennis too. I don't think, believe me, I can try to teach a ATP player. It's not in this moment of my life a goal, not even close. I love what I do. I love to be outside the tennis court. I like to teach too, and I think my lesson is very good. I put a lot of energy, and when you're working in a new place like I'm right now working on McCarran, I'm jumping on the court and I try to put the rhythm, because the lesson needs to be the rhythm I like it. I mean, that's what I'm doing on McCarran.
I can contest to that because we had a group of what we call tiny tots, which is 4 and 5 year olds, and we had about, what was it that day? Probably about 10.
Yeah, something like that.
Seeing someone command so much presence from a kid and have them fixed. I'm like, most of the time these kids run off, they're grabbing balls, they're slapping one another, they're crying. And it was very interesting to see how you could hold their attention and get them to enjoy the game, and also see a little bit of humor and fun within it. Because I think a lot of these tennis instructors, they think like, oh, it's, you work hard and there's no fun in it whatsoever. I think that piece is extremely hard to show with the hard work that you put into the game. Because I don't think many people can, especially now, they just want it, kind of like what we talked about earlier, they want it handed to them. But in turn, half of the fun is actually working to get to that point and seeing the development. So it was very cool to watch 12 little kids when he would, hey.
I have a couple of my friends. I see a couple of my friends coming into, to the group chat and join this conversation. And, Gary, it is fun because I'm having fun.
Yes.
That means and this is a message for all the coaches, if they are looking at or they want to watch this later, if you are on this tennis industry and you're a tennis coach and you're only on this busy because you want to make money, please change, do something else.
Well, one of the best things is that when you really enjoy what you do, sometimes it's not about the money. The money is great, but sometimes it's not about the money. It's about enjoying what you do.
Look, the point you live only about money means you're only living the present. Yes, Sidney? I mean, see, if I care only what happened today, I'm going to work today for my money, and I only going to, there's nothing wrong with that, please. I'm not against that. But on long term, you're not going to be able to survive on any business if the only or your main thing is going to be making money. I enjoy my lesson. I cross the door. I cross the door on McCarran, which is now my home, and I breathe and I feel alive. I like that. I like to feel like that. That means I like to do that right now. Right now, I need to jump on court because I want to show the coaches how I want to them to deliver the lesson. It is. I'm not looking to micromanage, obviously, but I want to be given the guidelines and what the direction we're going. And soon I need to jump out the court and and do my job to manage the place.
Right. Well, I definitely want to talk about the direction that you're going to be going into with McCarran. But I also had a question for you. Like recently, we've been seeing a lot of articles about tournament fixing and betting in tennis, and there have even been a few articles about some of the players that have been banned for life for doing so. How do you tell someone or compare that to players that are also using performance-enhancing drugs to win their matches? Do you think that banning them is the right way to go, or how would you associate the two of those things?
And first, I don't think I can associate it because they are two different things. One is take drugs, and the other one is going to be bidding. And the bidding is it's illegal in some places. It's not on other ones. But if you are going to pull out of the match because you want to, obviously was cooked before,
right?
That's really the problem. There's rules. Signing rules and regulations on the ATP and the WTA to punish the coaches. Punish the players to do these things. That means they need to do is only follow the reglaments. Against the drugs, obviously that's completely illegal. You don't supposed to do that. But it's not only in tennis and in sports. You remember what happened with
Davydenko?
No, I'm talking about the guy who was doing a bicycle, wasn't it? The cyclist.
Not Neil. What's his
Lance Armstrong.
Yes, like that one was so bad. You see, things like that. I think that's always a shame. It's a really bad thing to happen. So obviously, it's going to keep happening. It's not going to stop. My biggest concern, believe me, is going to be more about the relation we have with the kids in terms to keep the difference between I'm an adult and you are a child.
Right.
That's a bigger concern for me in terms of the teaching. Like we always professional. You see, like right now to be a coach, hopefully, the most part of the coaches they are following the guidelines about the safe sports after what happened on gymnastics. You remember that story. I mean, it's important because sports supposed to be safe, supposed to be fun, supposed to be, I'm going to give you my child. Basically, when the people cross the door, they give you the child to you. You should be you to be a mentor, a father, a friend, and then things happen. That's not supposed to happen, but sometimes happen. I mean, that's I think more important personally. I think that's and Gary know that it's important for me to be sure our coaches are correctly doing the correct thing.
Well, and there's and I'm in both sports, and it's a target on your back. And I can honestly say, being a male, it's a little bit scary at times because you know where your heart is, you know where you're coming from, and sometimes just the one little thing can change something, and you have to be really careful with protocol and making sure like you're also protecting yourself along with that child as a coach.
Gary, it's not, and you're a tennis coach 24/7.
Yep.
You are not a coach only when you cross the door of the club or when you get into your court. You are outside too. That means be careful. We need to be careful how we act outside the tennis courts. Please, nothing wrong with you can drink a beer, but don't be drunk on the bar and doing stupid things. And then your customers show up. I say, oh, look, Tito there. He looks too serious in the club, and now he's completely drunk, almost passing out. I mean, how are the people going to think about me?
I think that even translate into social media. I don't think people realize like a simple post can change an outcome of your life or your profession, or even someone being able to record something, as we've seen like in social media lately. You always have to be careful. I mean, even as a kid, like I was lucky, I grew up with parents that were coaches. It was, you need to be careful how you represent yourself because people see you in the public eye all the time. Of course, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. But if it's blamed and there's no way of getting out of it, then you've set yourself up for failure. I think it's really important what you put out there is so key, whether it's when you step out your door or what you post on any social media platform.
And I think with the social media platforms, I think that's also a bigger issue because depending on what's going on, you're always going to have someone that doesn't agree with the things that you're for or that you talk about on social media. So with me, whenever I speak to people from a business aspect of it, I always tell them, if you're going to be on social media, you need to have your social media that's your personal accounts that you don't share with your clients and your, the people that you're dealing with. And then you have your social media accounts that you deal with that are specific to your business. So that way, anything that you're posting on your business accounts, people can go on there and see them. But as far as your personal accounts, hide them, so that people can't just go on there and see, what you're doing in your daily life, because quite frankly, it's none of their business. But if someone should get on there, then you need to be prepared to stand up and own whatever it is you're doing. So, that's one of the things that I've always talked to other people about, especially when they're moving forward with trying to build their business or to try to build their brand. And like, I know right now that, the MTC is, you're moving into some exciting things that are coming up down the line. So Tito, can you tell us some of the things that, you're excited about, or some of the things that you're going to be doing with MTC coming up?
Okay, the first we're doing, is to organize the lessons, to try to work more in a teamwork. Sometimes, you need to be able to connect the courts and the players and the group lessons.
Right.
If you jump on your court and you do your own thing and you don't connect with the coach next to you, that's a mistake. That's the first thing. Second thing, we're going to bring JTT back to the club. You know JTT, Sydney?
So please explain that to me.
Junior team tennis is a very nice inter-clubs for juniors. You can orange ball, green ball, 12 and under, 14, 18. You can go all to nationals. Beautiful. Have a lot of experience with that on the club on Long Island. We take the team from there for the last 10 years to the sectionals, and one we go to nationals. So that means a beautiful thing for the kids and the intermediate and advanced level. And then we're going to try to put more work on the high performance. Start competing more. We're trying to have fights for the kids and start developing follow up what the kids are doing in terms of the tournament. Not because you are on the high performance means you are a high performance.
Right.
It could be different things. That means we're trying to connect that to things. And the last and the very important thing, they generate the outside events. We have on a schedule already. We work very close with the New York Open on Long Island. The New York Open. There's an ATP 150. Want to bring the kids there. We're going to do events with them. We have on a schedule, but now we don't know what is going to happen. We're going to have Arancha Sanchez, Emilio Sanchez at the club. We are going to have Leo Alonso coming from Argentina doing programs. We're working very close with the USTA, running programs to this school districts around. And this is what we're doing. We're going to try to run USTA events. That means a lot of things we're going to put on the plate to us missing at McCarran, and I think are very, very important, not difficult to make, but are going to obviously make a difference on what we're doing right now. I hope that gives you an answer, Sydney.
Oh, most definitely. And as far as the New York Open, like since it started, I've been one of the main photographers out there every year, and it's great to see the kids come out there because they actually get to go on the court and meet some of the players. And this is one of the things that I enjoyed about the New York Open, because a lot of the players, they're very accessible and they're very kind to these kids when they're coming up there.
Sydney, I love the US Open. I think it's great. It's one of the big majors, but my favorite tournament is the New York Open.
Yeah, I love the New York Open.
Really?
Yes. And it's not. You can say yes, but you cannot see Roger Federer or this. It is true, but in terms of business, what the things you are allowed to do on the New York Open are way much better and easiest to make it happen compared with the US Open. The US Open, the only you can do with your club is take the kids 1 week. You need to pick only, I think, 24 players to go there for 5 minutes. Yes, it's a great tennis experience, please. I love it, and we do it every year, and we're going to make it again. But, you call the New York Open, and you say, can I do this? They say yes. Can I do that? They say yes. Can we do this together? Sure. I mean, they never say no to you. You don't need to go through too many security things to get into there. The kids can go up and down. The kids, I bring them before, they go up and down inside to the court, meet the players, pictures with this, with that. I mean, the experience you can develop to your players are incredible and easiest to go. Yes, it is true. I don't think Roger Federer is going to show up there. It's not going to happen. But everything is going to depend how you can sell the story and the dream and the expectation to your customers. You have a new kid
So
8 years old or 9 years old, so they never played before, they never go to the US Open, and you sell this environment that is going to be an amazing event, and you're going to be you're going to be a professional players, and the kid come with the coin toss or come with a hand, Ray Opelka.
Yes, Riley Opelka.
Okay, we was there. On the other club I was working before last year. The kid, one of the kids from my club, he brings Ray Opelka holding his hand, to the court. And now here is Ray Opelka, and Ray Opelka take him on his arms. And the kid to come with him was 5 years old. One of the kids from the academy, 5 years old, and they give a high five. That kid is never ever to forget that day.
Never.
Maybe that was the key to make that kid the next American champion.
Exactly. And you even have players like, for instance, Noah Rubin, who was on our show, like one of our first guests. Noah's played the New York Open several times, and because he's there in Long Island, he's from Long Island, and he's incredibly nice guy. But at the New York Open, kids, I've seen them because the players walk around, to get to their area where they need to be, and it's pretty much open. And these kids, they run up to them and talk to them, or literally just stare at them. And one kid last year saw Noah Rubin coming out of the players' lounge and literally was like so excited to see him. But when he got to him, all he could do is just stand there and look at him. And when I saw Noah like bend down and start talking to him and, signed a couple of things for him, like you said, that's going to be an experience that those kids hold dear to them forever, because they won't get that same thing at the US Open or Wimbledon or anywhere else.
Think about it. We're in New York, metro area, Long Island, New Jersey, and we have first we have the US Open it's an amazing tennis experience. You go there, you can, I go there 3-4 times, and I can go every day if I can. You are from 11 in the morning to 1 in the morning with all tennis and all that. It's just amazing, yes? And then you have your Open. And they have the New York Open. That's a completely different atmosphere. Indoor, February is cold. You get in, black courts. You can see the coach. You can see the players right here. That's incredible. For me, it's the best to live in New York and have all these two events. Really are incredible.
Right. And Pat just said that he thinks that the New York Open should bring more kids from the New York City area. And Pat, just so you know, because I work with New York Tennis Magazine, and they make sure that they publicize it in the New York Tennis Magazine as well as the Long Island Tennis Magazine. But I think one of the things that the New York Open needs to do a little bit more of is their marketing and how they put it out, because by the time the New York Open comes, you don't really hear about it in New York City as well as you do in Long Island. In Long Island, because everybody knows it's at Nassau Coliseum and how to get there. But for people that live in New York City, they don't find out about it until it's actually here. They don't realize that it doesn't take that long to get out there. It's a, short train ride, and then, just take an Uber over there. It's not, that bad. So, yeah, I think that, they should be able to publicize it more here in New York City, because this is where you have a lot of kids and a lot of players that would want to be able to, take that experience and also get to see up-and-comer players, because there were some guys there that I'd never seen before last year, and they were amazing players, and were, taking it to the likes of Jack Sock and, all of these people. And it was great to just see it. So, yeah, I think, being able to publicize it more in New York City would be a great thing.
So, Tito, am I allowed to take off for that time because it's around my birthday? Can I go to the New York Open?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Gary, really well.
Oh.
That's a good answer, Tito.
My internet is cheap, sometimes I lose the connection.
So real quick, I want to say hello to one of our good friends of the show, Reese Scott, who's going to actually be on this show really soon, which I'm so happy about. Reese is one of my first doubles partners that I was actually winning with in DC when we played, because he kept me focused and just kept me in the moment when I was on the court. So she taught me a lot rather while we were playing together. And Reese, we're going to have you on the show really soon, and I will make sure I reach out to you today, because I saw you pop up on screen. I want to make sure I get in touch with you. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go back to our 2 truths and a lie, because we want to get to know a little bit more about Tito. So earlier we asked, Tito to give us some information about himself. One of the things that, he did with the 2 truths and a lie is he gave us 3 answers. One of them, of course, is a lie. So the first one was, he has been working in the tennis industry for over 26 years. His second one was, his 3 tennis idols are Roger Federer, Pete Sampras, and Yvonne Lendl. And then it was, how old was Tito when he started playing tennis? And he said 12 years old. So everybody,
my friend Patty asking, we have any prize if somebody have the right answers?
The prize, you get to us love each other.
No, we can give him a pair of tickets to the New York Open.
If we get some tickets to the New York Open, we will. And definitely,
you can't participate. Sorry.
Well, I'm there anyway, so you'll get to meet me. That's part of the prize. But
no, but I'm not joking. Even I don't talk with them, I know they can give us 2 tickets for see the New York Open. What do you think?
I would love that. I think that, I'll reach out to the Tennis Magazine as well, because David over at New York Tennis Magazine, he's really good about making sure, we get people out there and that they have a great experience, because like you said, the entire thing is just absolutely amazing. So far we have Pat that said it's number 3. Chip says it's number 2. Gary, which one do you think it is?
Number 3.
Gary, before you answer, you're only 1 for 3 right now.
I have my friend Ramiro be there saying to the number 3 is a lie.
I want to say number 3, but I kind of want to
say it's all a lie that you were born a tennis player.
Time out.
It is true. It is true.
I want to change my answer. I have time. I want to say it's number 1.
Number is a lie?
Yes, number 1.
And Chip said if you win, Gary, you can have his tickets.
Oh, thanks. That's so special.
Okay, so I'm going to participate because I already know what the answer is, so I'm not going to participate. But before I thought about it, I was wrong anyway. So, but the lie was, Gary, give me a drum roll, please.
It's good as it's going to get.
It was number 3. He was actually 6 years old when he first started playing tennis. So, Pat, it looks like you were right. He was.
Ramiro is good too.
I'm a little upset. On our website, it says 25 years. So that's why I thought you said 26. I was like, that's to throw me off. So it was between 1 or 3. Damn it.
I mean, we have to win it. We have Pat and Ramiro, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
And Anna just says hello, by the way. She just.
Hi,
Anna.
So we are so happy again, Tito, that you decided to come on today and talk to us about McCarran Tennis Center and all of the great things that you guys are planning and that you're getting ready to do there. So for everybody that's in New York and Long Island, if you want to come out and see what's going on over at McCarran Tennis Center, they are located at North 12th Street on Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and if you want to contact them, you can reach out to them for general inquiries through email just by going at info@McCarran Tennis or support@McCarran Tennis, or just give them a call at 347-873-9698.
I will pick up the phone.
And Tito will pick up the phone. You heard it here.
Yeah.
So.
Well.
And if you want to, you can definitely just check out their website at McCarran, www.mccarran.tennis. And again, someone will get back in touch with you. They are also on Instagram at McCarran Tennis Center and Facebook at McCarran Tennis Center as well. So definitely there's several ways that you can reach out. Make sure you go there, look for Anna, look for Gary, because you'll see one or both of them there at all times. And I absolutely love playing and doing the cardio tennis. I know my face doesn't show it right now, but it does. I'm good with it and I love it. Yes, Anna, I do love it. So I can't wait to get back out on the court. So next week we will have, I believe we have one of our guys from DC that's going to be joining us, and we'll let you guys know in the next day or so which one it will be, because we have several of our friends there in the DC area that have been asking us about coming on, and I can't wait to get them on here because they are all awesome guys, and we love going out to DC and playing the tournament there. So again, thank you very much, Tito, for coming on. Did you have anything else that you would want to say to our audience before we jump out?
I want to thank you, Sydney and Gary, to the invitation. I want to thank everybody to listen today, especially my friend Pat Mosquera, a great guy, Latin guy. I love him. Great tennis coach. Ramiro Videas, he's on Bolivia and here. I love that too. Thank you so much. And Chip, I think I need to fix some from his game. I'm sure we're going to get him on court. And everybody was hearing, again, to you guys for the opportunity. I appreciate that. And obviously to our sponsor, New York Open. They don't know that yet, but we have to take it on.
We will work on it. I will actually put you in touch with David over at New York Tennis Magazine. So
I can call directly. Don't worry about it. But they are going to give us the tickets. That means, Ramiro Videas in Bolivia, that means he might be a little expensive for him to come over, but his problem. We give the tickets only, not the ticket for the plane.
See, one less expense he has to worry about, right?
Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much. This is great. Have so much fun.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you everybody for watching Mini Break today. We enjoyed having you with all your questions. Don't forget, we'll be back on Wednesday and also next Sunday. And we will definitely reach out and let everyone know who will be coming on. So thanks again for coming on, and you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye, everyone.